We have prepared a detailed step-by-step Canvas features, zoom, pan, and navigation tutorial for beginners and those who want to learn Microsoft Paint 3D. To get the most out of this training, following this content, and our previous and subsequent, or other related trainings that we publish in series will help you understand and achieve much more. Let's start with a brief reminder about the workspace and what a canvas is. When you start a new project, you start with a clean canvas. Canvas is the name of the surface on which we draw and design, similar to real life. In the middle of the light gray workspace, you can see the canvas. With a white background color and the simplest terms, canvas is the area where we draw and design. We write canvas with the marker to better define zooming in, zooming out, and moving around the canvas. At the top right of the workspace, you can see the zoom in and zoom out settings. Here you can increase or decrease the zoom values. You can also enter a zoom value in percentages. The three dots indicate View More Options, and a drop-down menu opens. Right here is the Reset Image setting. With the Reset Image setting, the canvas is zoomed to 100% size and positioned in the center of the workspace. At the bottom and side borders of the workspace are scroll bars for scrolling left and right or up and down. We reset the image again and save a backup file. We can pan or scroll by holding down the middle mouse wheel. We can also zoom in or out by turning the mouse wheel up or down. The advantage of zooming by rotating the mouse wheel is that it focuses on the mouse cursor. As the mouse wheel rotates up or down, we can move closer or further away from the center of the cursor. For example, we zoomed in and out of the letter S we wrote on the canvas. Now we moved closer and further away from the first letter A we wrote. In the View More Options section, there is a Show Interaction Controls panel, and when we open it, there is a guiding information about how to navigate with tools such as touchscreen, mouse, keyboard, drawing tablet stylus, etc. If we start from the mouse, the shortcuts of zooming in, zooming out, and pan movements on the workspace we have just done with the mouse are visually presented. We can also use the Alt key and the left mouse button to scroll across the workspace. If we hover over each of the instruction narratives and wait a moment, a detailed additional information box will appear. On the touchscreen, there are shortcuts to navigation with finger gestures. There is also information on controls for interacting with the keyboard or drawing tablet stylus. Let's explain it practically using the keyboard example. We can zoom in with Page Up and zoom out with Page Down from the keyboard. With the Home key, we can reset the image in the workspace to the center at 100% size. The combination of the Alt and arrow keys allows you to scroll in the respective directions. The interaction control on the drawing tablet stylus offers a shortcut for panning or scrolling. By holding down the Alt key, we can navigate depending on the direction in which we slide the stylus. In the View More Options section indicated by the three dots, there is a shortcut for the Canvas Options section. The same option is also available in the Tools section above. Both perform the same task. When Canvas Options is opened, The ears or small boxes appear on the corners and edges of the canvas that we can use for sizing. The first option in the Canvas Options side panel is the option to display the canvas on the workspace, either open or closed. A sub-canvas option is the option to change the canvas to transparent or opaque. At the moment, the usual background color is white, and we can change it at any time. It has a section with two parameters where we can resize the canvas size in pixels or percentages. One of the parameters is width, and the other is height. At the bottom there are rotate and flip settings. We can flip the canvas along the Y or X axis. From here we can apply the rotate commands 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. We can resize the canvas with the drag and drop method by means of the 8 tabs or boxes on the corners and edges of the canvas at the boundaries of the workspace. If the aspect ratio from corners setting is selected, it can resize while preserving the aspect ratio. Each of the edges can be freely resized individually and even independent of the aspect ratio. If we want to change the width and height of the canvas in the side panel with numerical values, if the aspect ratio is active, when we change one, the other will change automatically by the amount of the aspect ratio, and thus the aspect ratio is preserved. By turning the aspect ratio inactive, we can change the width or height independently of each other. We have numerically entered the aspect pixel ratios in full HD values. Notice that the canvas expanded without changing the resolution of our text in the center when it should have expanded. We draw a letter R on the canvas with crayons. This time we will enlarge the canvas by 200% while maintaining the aspect ratio. After the last change, when we look at the dimensions of the canvas in pixels, it has a pixel aspect value that corresponds to 4K resolution. We quickly save another backup version of the work to desktop. We reduce the canvas by 50% in percentage terms, keeping the aspect ratio. When we return to pixel type, it can be seen that it returns to full HD values. We can enlarge and reduce the canvas and the image on it simultaneously. If we resize the canvas and the image together, the pixel values of the image can also compress, expand and change. We have drastically reduced the canvas and the image, and when we zoom in again on the text we have written, we can see that the text has become extraordinarily pixelated, and its quality has deteriorated, and a large resizing causes serious changes in image quality. We undid the resizing operation with the undo command. The same goes for enlargement, but re-enlargement after reduction results in a high loss of resolution quality. We are increasing the canvas by 200% again, except for the image. We can undo the changes we made on the canvas step by step with the undo command, or we can advance from the undone operation to the next operation with the redo command. The canvas also has 3D display settings, which can be understood more clearly when a 3D object is moved into the workspace. The mouse wheel button can be rotated while the 3D view mode is active to zoom in and out. When the 3D view mode is active, Pressing and dragging the mouse wheel button will pan or scroll in the 3D environment. When the 3D image mode is active, and the right mouse button is pressed and scrolled, the image is rotated according to the scrolled direction. You can think of them as a camera setting, and we will go into more detailed features step by step with examples in the future. We add a ready-made cat model to the workspace and in front of the canvas and change some of the angle and position values. After the cat model we do the navigation actions again in 3D image mode with the help of the mouse. As we mentioned earlier, you can think of them as adjusting the camera angle and position. In this way, we have shown the navigation movements step by step in both the 2D plane and the 3D space. This series of tutorials on our channel will teach you step by step how to use the Paint 3D editor, each covering a different topic. We will start with basic tasks and gradually move towards more complex features. Each chapter will build on the knowledge from the previous chapters so that you can learn effectively and efficiently. We will continue the series with more beautiful trainings and we will be with you again very soon. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to receive notifications for new videos. See you again soon, and thanks for watching.